Hello and welcome back to Just 5 Minutes, and yes, you probably noticed I couldn't resist a bit of intro music, which is chewing up, 11 seconds, my goodness. Right, so, just like the famous analogy in the UK anyway, you wait for one bus for ages and two turn up. Well, you wait 2 years and there's 2 episodes within almost a week of each other, so there we go. Right, so today we are looking at yet another cross-platform deployment system. It's called Tauri, currently 1.1 version, and it's in the realm of sort of Electron. So imagine things like Visual Studio Code and the GitHub desktop. They're all built on Electron, or were, certainly for the vast amount of their code base, which is great. There's nothing wrong with Electron. Used it, loved it, but it is a little bit bloaty because mainly it has Node.js tucked in there and the Chrome browser essentially, which is a headless browser. So it's got the the engine-y part there. Does a great job. Lots of things, been around for a long time, quite stable. But Tauri is, and there's a few of these others as well, and I really do forget the names. I'll try to put them in the show notes. But Tauri sort of jumps out again. Got a little bit of a Rust fascination, and I don't mean just staring at a rusty car or anything. But yes, Tim will get a kick out of that one. Right, but it is very rusty out there, isn't it? Because this is built on, Tauri is built on Rust. And it seems, from the look of it, I've only again had a little play, the security seems really very good. There's lots of details. We haven't got time to go in for it for this time, but there's a lot of security. But the bundle size is really quite incredible. So just if you don't know what these things do, it basically lets you use a web type technology, whether it's just plain JavaScript, HTML, CSS, Angular, Vue, it doesn't really matter. But you're basically creating those apps in that type of technology. You're going to create whatever you want, but this will then essentially deploy as a cross-platform like desktop application. Okay, but coming soon with the Tauri sort of side anyway is the mobile side. So it's very much getting up there with sort of the .NET MAUI, which we did a show ages ago. Might have to do a revisit of that. But Tauri looks really incredible. And as I say, the thing that really jumps out for me is by using the OS native web renderer, basically your Tauri app can be little less than 600k, compared to 60 meg at least, or 70 meg on the Electron side. But there's some really incredible things, like it's got a lot of features there to build cross-platform applications in a really quite secure way. And again, it's built on Rust. It's got a lot of good things here. Self-updater. It's got a desktop bundler to obviously do the installs. You can have an app tray, and obviously that adapts to whichever system you're on. Native notifications. It sort of as a sidecar that you can integrate with other binaries as well. But there's a lot more to that. But there's things like app storage and everything else, self-updaters and things like that. So there's some really interesting features going on here. I'll put the details in the show notes, but certainly, from my perspective, it's a good looking option for cross-platform sort of desktop and possibly very soon mobile applications. So I think that's one to look out for. So that's really all I have for this time. Next time we're going to have a look at something. We're going to try to be because I realised, I'm very much a Microsoft focused person. I'm trying to go to Microsoft, anonymous, and I think possibly Tim has actually moved on from there. But certainly I'm going to try to sort of like bring some other things like working with VS Code, but on a Linux machine, but with possibly a Microsoft-centric focus on a Linux machine. So anyway, that's going to be for the next one. For now, take care. we'll catch you in the next episode.